Welcome to my class of computer graphics. Today we are going to discuss about CRT display devices or cathode ray tube display devices. In this lecture on introduction to computer graphics, of course, we have seen various types of input output devices which are used in the field, and a few of them are used for output as well as for input. So the output devices are the monitors and input devices are keyboard or mouse. Let us look at few examples of computer graphics devices, especially the input and output devices. The CRT cathode ray tube, as they are called. Then we have the EGA, CGA, VGA or SGA monitor, and hence the graphic adapter stands for EGA. CGA, we have colored graphics adapter. We have video graphics adapter VGA and super video graphics adapter SVGA plotters, various type data matrix for displays, flat panel devices, video digitizers, scanners, LCD planners, mouse, touchscreen. So these are various examples of computer graphics. Out of this, we are essentially going to discuss about CRT monitors in this lecture. CRT monitors are the most commonly used display devices. Of course, there are other better type of display devices which are based on solid state technology. It could be the flat panel devices or the plasma devices, the organic LEDs and other devices, but most commonly in the world and specifically in our country, most of the display devices are based on CRT monitor. So if we look into type of display devices, the first one of them, the simplest one, is direct view storage tube or the DVST. This is the simplest one. The second one is the calligraphic or random scan display system. Third one is refresh and raster scan display system. All these three devices we will discuss in detail, but the common part of these display devices is concept of the cathode ray tube or CRT. We will first look at the very basic and the simple one, which is the DVST or the direct view storage device. The storage tube is a CRT with a long persistence phosphorus or phosphate. We will see what it is. It provides flicker free display. There is no flicker in the device and it does not need to refresh the contents of the screen. So there are three fundamental properties of direct view storage tube or DVST. Essentially, the DVST which draws a line on the screen. We will move to the diagram of CRT screen as we are looking to see how the electron beam is generated and how it is guided on to particular point. But this electron beam is essentially the basic component of CRT, which is responsible for drawing a line on the screen. We will see later on how it is controlled. The screen for a DVST or a DVST has a huge mesh in which the phosphor is embedded. Image is stored as distribution of charges on the inside surface of screen. DVST has a very limited interactive support. This is a typical diagram that illustrates the operation of CRT or a CRT based monitor. This is typical diagram that gives the illustration. It is an operation which shows how an electron gun with an accelerating anode is used to generate an electron beam that is used to display point or pictures in the screen. On the left hand side of CRT you have a heating filament which is responsible to heat up the cathode element of CRT, and that is what generates the electrons. The electrons, we can say that after the heating element, after the element is heated, simply boils off. It simply boils off and from the cathode, and it is guided by a set of devices which are all essentially cylindrical in nature, and it helps to guide this electron beam. We have three functions here: control grid, a focusing anode, and accelerating anode. These are essentially three cylindrical devices which are struck inside it, and three of these have different jobs. Well, when we observe a picture on a screen, some part of the picture may be bright, some picture may be dark. This brightness or darkness or illumination or the intensity on the screen is basically controlled by the intensity of the beam which strikes a particular point on the screen. This intensity of the screen is controlled by controlling the intensity of the electron beam which is coming out of cathode ray tube. If we look at the picture once again, the electron beam is coming out. The intensity of beam is controlled by control grid. Now this control grid is typically consists of electron that are negatively charged. The control grid is a cylindrical device. It is a high negative voltage which is applied. Now if the electrons are also negatively charged, then both of them repel each other. So the amount of voltage at the control grid is very essential to control. The electron beam passes through cylindrical control grid, and that will be controlled by the negative voltage in the control grid. So if we reduce the amount of voltage in the control grid, or that means negative voltage is reduced, we are allowing more electrons to pass through the beam, and it will be higher. The amount of intensity of screen will be also higher. Whereas if we increase the voltage of the control grid, we are allowing fewer amounts of electron to pass through the intensity of electron beam, and the control grid will now be less, and you will have less brightness on the screen. So that is the function of control grid, which has negative charges. The other two parts are focusing device. Well, the structure and design of the CRT varies from one type of device to another, but typically you have the cylindrical structure of the focusing device. Anode, and both of these cylindrical devices, the focusing anode and the accelerating anode, are actually positively charged, unlike the control grid. There will have positive voltage. The control grid had a negative voltage because it had to repel or stop a few of them going through it necessarily, depending to strike on the screen. The focusing anode and accelerating anode have positive voltage. Essentially, the focusing anode is responsible to focus the beam onto particular point of the screen. It is similar to a lens focusing a beam of light. Instead of focusing light, we are actually focusing the electrons onto a particular spot or point on the screen. So that is the job of the focusing node. We can say it is an electrostatic lens. That means unlike an optical lens which focuses the beams and the light beams onto a surface. In this case, it is a surface electron beam focused onto a screen, and the accelerating anode is necessary because we want the electrons to strike the screen to emitting light. So the acceleration of the beam is also provided by the accelerating nodes of positive voltage. It allows the electron to accelerate them. Till now we have seen the electron beam path in this picture, which is going to straight, and there are three stages. The first stage controls the intensity, second control focusing, and third gives the speed or the acceleration. Now this will go on and strike the center of the screen as it is going straight. Or how will you implement the deflections of beam? Because the screen is basically a square matrix. You not only need to beam to go and hit the center of screen to create a point, you also need the beam to move all around this image if you want to create it. So you need horizontal deflection as well as vertical deflection of this electron beam so that you can cover the entire screen. All the points or entire phosphor coatings of the screen need to deflect. This deflection of beam is implemented by another stage, which we will see in the next slide. This is the basic device of magnetic deflection CRT. This is the diagram where we only show that there exists an electron focusing system at the base of the CRT. Of course, it doesn't show the other component like acceleration and the control systems, which are part of what we commonly term as electron gun, the base of the CRT. In fact, the electron gun terminology is typically used for stages of accelerating nodes. So these are the different terminologies. But after the beam is focused, it comes out and get deflected. So if you look at the diagram, this beam is deflected by magnetic deflection coils, which actually are on the top, bottom, and on the two sides also of the CRT. And this magnetic deflection coil generates a magnetic field which help to deviate or divert this magnetic or electron beam to any portion of the screen on the phosphorus coated screen. This is one mechanism by which deflection works. We move on to next picture, which shows that the deflection is done with the help of electrostatic fields. The previous one was an electromagnetic field. In this case, it is electrostatic fields generated by capacitance. We are talking of electrodeflection of the electron beam in a CRT, and we have the same base electron gun focusing system, and then the beam comes out straight, and there are two plates. You can assume this to be the capacitive one. The first stage, as you see in this picture, we have the horizontal deflection plane, the horizontal deflection plates, which is responsible for horizontal deflection, and then there is vertical deflection plates, which is responsible for vertical deflection of electron. If you look now, the horizontal deflection plate is just like in case of electron beams. This is in detail the diagram. Here all the parts which are involved in the display are shown. Heater, then cathode ray, control grid, accelerating node, focusing anode, plates for horizontal deflection, the vertical deflection of the electron. Each and every part is shown. Now, direct view storage tube drawbacks. These are the drawbacks of direct view storage tubes. If like modification is a problem, changes in the image required to generate a new change distribution in DVST, the process is quite slow, no animation is possible in DVST. changes in the image required to generate a new change distribution in DVST. Calligraphic or random scan display. This display must be refreshed at regular interval, minimum of 30 Hz for flicker-free display. The display processor must cycle through the display list to refresh the phosphors. The display program has commands for point, line, and character plotting. Computer graphics systems can be further divided into active or passive. That means either they are active or they are called passive. They are of two types. In both the cases, the input of the system in the screen description and the output is a static or animated screen to be displayed. Now, computer graphics is nowadays a significant component of almost all systems and application of computers in every field of life, as we have already seen. Now, this is the block diagram of the refresh display. You can see the diagram. Host is connected with picture processor, then display buffer, display controller, vector or character generator, and then it is displayed through CRT. This one is another diagram. Look carefully. Here from host CPU it goes to picture processor, and here host CPU to direct display buffer. These are two conceptual block diagrams. Calligraphic or random scan display system. The display processor sends digital and point coordinate values to a vector generator. The vector generator converts the digital coordinate value to analog voltage for beam deflection circuits. And what is the recommended rate? Recommended refresh rate is 40 to 50 Hz. Scope of animation is possible. Then these are the references of the books which all of you should follow. Assignment. After completing this tutorial, you should please solve these questions. What is raster scan display and random scan display? Explain 3D interface. Describe scan conversion. Define aspect ratio. Describe shadow mask method. Thank you for watching.